Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Rheinmetall Skorpion. It's a Tier 8 German turreted tank destroyer, a premium one. It's located on the eastbourne of Studzianki and it's under the command of SlyMeerkat. Now in this game he's in platoon with Farmer's Dom, who's in the T-77 and Too Fast to Be, also in the same tank, and they're just in front of him. Game on. Well, they seem to be going in separate directions. They're not fighting together, which is kind of strange because the T-77 does have a rather long reload. It's an auto reloader, and you'd think that they would actually cover each other as they're reloading. But anyway, they decided to fight differently. Sly's decided to park his Skorpion in the bushes for a quick initial spot at the enemy. Any chance that he might see someone? Oh, found someone. It's a Martian making his way to the factory. I know for a long time many people considered it was a railway station, but I think it is actually technically a factory based on a railway line. Could be considered a power station actually if you think about it, but anyway, he's decided there's nothing worth shooting from this position, so he's decided to go a bit further south. And a lot of enemy tanks have turned up. And, well, Too Fast to Be Furious, Too Fast to Be Furious, actually, that's his real name. Too Fast to Be Furious is actually in the thick of it, because he's in the trench, in the riverbed, and he can see the enemy, but he's actually fairly vulnerable out there. There is enemy in the game. There's an Object 261 and an FB3805. It's a Tier 10 game with Tier 8 tanks in it. Now the Skorpion, as you know, is the plain clothes version of the Skorpion G. It's one without the special camo, and it's basically identical. So Wargaming could sell you the same vehicle twice, and they did it so they could get people into the same vehicle on front lines. At least that's what I think they did. That was the original intention, but it was to sell you the same vehicle twice. Now it's a 128mm gun based on a kind of Waffenträger design to put the gun in the centre of the vehicle, and it's a Panther hull that's being used. Standard alpha is 490, and it'll penetrate 246mm with standard rounds. And with the premium rounds, it will go up to 311, so it does penetrate Tier 10 vehicles fairly easily. The Panther hull, though, is very vulnerable. You have to watch out for that. It's also fairly tall, which makes it, well, a difficult target. Well, it's an easy target for the enemy, but difficult to conceal. Well, he fired one in there and got destroyed the track on the T-54, who then promptly took damage and got wiped out by the Jaegeru. So he picked up a nice amount of damage assist there, 484. Looks like the T-54 must have hit the repair the moment the shell went in, and so only one amount of damage was recorded, not the full amount from the Jaegeru killing him. Now I think that shell was actually just to knock down that building so he could get accurate shots on the enemy over on the far side. He still hasn't been able to knock them all down. Better to use an HE round to knock down buildings. If you aim it at the centre of the building, it should demolish the whole thing, unless of course it's an indestructible building, in which case all you're doing is wasting ammo. Now the Skorpion G design was one of a number of designs that was put forward for a Waffenträger, the other one being the Grille 15. I think this one was actually known as the Grille 12, using a Kanonen, which is an artillery gun, K43. They were going to build this Waffenträger, but when the Panther II was cancelled, they decided not to. And that was cancelled in June of 1943. Another plan was to actually dismount the gun, similar to the Grasshopper 10, or house Shrek, to actually put the gun in emplacement, so it had a fixed emplacement, almost like a, you know, a battery gun, which could then fire accurately over any distance. Didn't get that one to go through the 277. In fact, I'm wondering why it didn't actually hit him. I have the feeling there might be something in the way, a wall or something that the shell actually hit instead. Nope, that missed. So the only damage so far is that T-54 on the track. And the T-77, Too Fast to Be Furious, has moved way ahead. In fact, actually, it's not him, it's it's the other one on the team, Farmer's Dom, who's actually come round, and it looks like Too Fast to Be Furious was wiped out, and we missed that. And Farmer's Dom's come round here in his T-77 engaging the enemy, and Sly's now decided to help out. I think he intended to snipe to start with, but now he realised he has to help out. He's going to go for this AMX 5100, who must be reloading, and he gets wiped out. And the other one that was troubling Farmer's Dom has been killed. He killed the AMX 5100 actually. The 7032 on the enemy team was taken out by the Jaegeru. There's still one behind on the enemy, and it looks like the enemy has cleared all of the tanks that were in the factory area. They've got a clear line all the way to our cap now, and this is why Sly is actually returning to his own cap, because the only one we've got defending the cap at the moment is an FE3805. Okay, that IS-4 is returning to his own cap to try and defend it against our guys making a thrust. It suggests that the enemy has turned around, and instead of actually going for our cap, they're now coming back to their own, much as Sly returned to his cap, or was intending to.
Watch out! Retreat!
He's trying to tell the FB3805 to get the hell out of there. In fact, what he needs to do is do what the Batchat 155-58's done, is just head south and get to a position where he can fire back at his own cap area should the enemy actually try to advance. If he stays where he is in the bushes behind the cap area, he will provide us with the information on when the enemy does arrive, but he will die very shortly afterwards. What we do know at the moment is that the enemy Arty went north. Farmer Dom's just killed their Borsig, so now it's 5 versus 5. And we know the location of the IS-4, but we don't know the location of the other tanks. Sly's still trying to perform the sniper role to back up his teammates. Oh, now this is interesting. We've located the Malshan. Has he got a shot? Malshan was the next design in the mouse. After the VK101P, they went to the Malshan, and then after the Malshan to the mouse. Various stages in the design of Hitler's super tank. Ooh, IS-4, big mistake. Yep, that was a huge mistake by the IS-4. Overconfident. IS-4 does have good armor, but yeah, it can still be taken down with a shell in the right place, and Sly put it in just at the right moment. That's his first kill. Now, one of the enemy tanks has actually turned up in our cap area, and it's the Object 277. Our GW Tiger is now making a hasty retreat. I don't know if he's left it too late, but the Batchat 155-58 is trying to help by firing on that 277. Unfortunately, we lost sight of it now, and the GW, well, he's not the fastest Arty, so he might actually get killed if he gets spotted. There he is. There's the 277, And one shot takes him out, but unfortunately the GW Tiger was just too late and he's been killed. So it's now 3 versus 3. Farmer's Dom is still, or Farmer Dom I should say, is still alive, but he's retreated away from the enemy camp. I think it's that Striv 103B that's causing him the most problems. There's the Malshan. Oh, he's got a clean shot. Go for the between the tracks. Nice shot! Accurate. The low roll, 412, and he was spotted, but oh, it looks like Farmer Dom got a round in as well. Or was that the Arty? I think it may have been the Arty because, of course, the stun. But he's only got 42 hit points. Oh, we get hit by the FV3805. We know where he is precisely. He's just north of the railway line behind those rocks. But it's now 2 versus 2. The enemy's got the Striv and he's just found the Batchat. He killed the Farmer Dom. So it's now just Sly and his Scorpion and his Skorpion versus that FV3805 and the Striv 103, and now he's the last one alive because the Batchat didn't last very long against the Striv 103B. Okay, he's just going to try blind firing before he goes down there. He's loaded the HE. HE will produce a better effect, but it's an FV3805. Remember, that's a fully enclosed Arty. Actually existed. They had 2 prototypes. Better to use armor piercing on an enclosed Arty rather than HE, unless of course you know that the HE has got more than enough penetration to get through the armor. And there he is, just south of the line. Takes 1 round, and that was the HE. Now he's firing the armor piercing. He's trying to get ahead of the guy to stop him from turning round because he has got the big gun. And there's the kill shot. Okay, well the Striv's got to our cap. And you can bet that he will be ready and waiting for the arrival of Sly. Now the question is, which direction does Sly approach from? Personally, I would actually cut straight across the field, get to the trench and approach from the south side, because he's not going to expect somebody to come from the same direction that he did. He's going to know that Sly was up in the north, and he might be expecting Sly to come from the north, and that way he'll be actually turned that way straight away. He's loaded the APC arm. Don't think that's really necessary. On the Striv 103B, it's only got 30 and 40 millimeters of armor, respectively. Well, 40 on the front, but 30 around the side. So he should be able to pen that straight away. He's decided to go the direct approach, which is not a really good idea, because he has to go up over that bank in order to get shots, and while he's on the bank he's vulnerable. But that's what he intends to do. And there's the Striv, who will now turn towards him. Yep, gets 1 round in. Wasn't enough to kill him. He's going to need at least 2 shots, maybe 3. At the moment he's trying to fool the Striv as to which direction he's going to go, and I think he's turning around and going back the other way, because he's going to try and make the Striv look the other way whilst he comes back. In fact, he's going back to the same spot he did before. And there's the Striv going in the wrong direction, takes another round. It's a low roll again. He's going to need at least 2 more shots to kill the guy. Does he risk it? If he does risk it for a biscuit, he is going to get damaged. And he really can't afford to take a round. Although he has got enough hit points to survive 1 shot. And the Striv was looking the wrong way, but look at that. The round was wrong. It didn't hit the target. Can he get a shot into this guy without taking a round? He does take a round. Puts 1 in. But now he's a 1 shot for the Striv. But the Striv, well, he could jump on top of the Striv and it would kill him now. Or ram him. Now the Striv's going to be expecting him to drive down, get closer. Of course, he's proximity spot now, so if he does go down and get close, the Striv will know he's there. He's looking the same way, and look at that. Fooled him. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker for SlyMeerkat in the Rheinmetall Skorpion, the plainclothes one. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6. A duelist for taking down 2 tanks that damaged him. A fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He only got 4 in that one. And a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. Because he's only tier 8 and he took out tier 10 vehicles, he took out the Object 277 and the IS-4 and the Striv 103B, 3 tier 10s actually. He ended up with a Aslains medal in that for killing at least 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers in a battle, and they have to be at least 2 tier highs, which is a much more difficult medal to get than the normal medals you would get for Orlix or like for killing tanks which are only 1 tier higher. So well done for getting a Aslains. He also got a defender for resetting the cap at least 70 defense points in the process. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't do the most damage in the game. That actually went to the IS-4 in his team, Baby Rider, who got 4,883. Second highest damage was the Object 277 on the enemy team, who was so focused on getting that FV3805, and he did get him, but he lost track of the fact that there was somebody looking at him from the other side, and he got 3,948 hit points, but got wiped out by SlyMeerkat's Skorpion. And the third highest damage in the game was that Striv right at the end. He got 3,754, but yes, he was outsmarted by Sly, and Sly won. Sly picked up 2,508 hit points. His platoon mates in that game, Farmer Dom, managed 2,455, and the other one was, where are you? Too Fast to Be Furious, at least I think that's his, yes it is Too Fast to Be Furious is his name, and he managed to get 1,046 hit points, but he didn't get any kills. When it came to kills, it was Sly who shared the top spot. He got 4 kills, so did the Object 277 on the enemy team. 3 kills went to the Standard B on his own team, and also to the Striv 103B on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, Sly's got that one with 1,287, 989 to the T77, 930 goes to the Standard B. He fired 20 rounds in that game, got 10 direct hits on the enemy and 8 penetrations. He did fire a few blind shots just to see if he could actually hit the enemy. Unfortunately, a few of his shells wasted, but there again, you do get a fair amount of shells in this tank destroyer. It's not as if they only give you a small amount. Well, 30 rounds is a small amount, I suppose you might say, so he did burn up 2/3 of his ammo. He also got 1 splash on the enemy as well. That was the FV3805. Probably would have been better actually if he'd used armor piercing on that guy alone. 2,508 hit points of damage, of which 412 were at more than 300 meters. 1 hit received from the enemy, it was a penetration. Yes, that was the Striv. Managed to put a round through him, and 1 hit by way of splash damage from the enemy Arty, who also took a chunk of his hit points. 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, 1,024 hit points of damage assistance, and he got 77 defense points when he reset the caps to get his defender. 60,310 credits from the game, 45,233 from personal reserves, 144,745 altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away a profit of 99,326 credits, 1,287 XP, 8,690 from personal missions, 193 for this being a premium vehicle, 290 for playing in the platoon, took away 11,104 experience points altogether. So the first battle in the Skorpion was an ace tanker. Let's see how he gets on in the second battle in the Skorpion G. In the second game, we can see that SlyMeerkat's now in the Skorpion G with the original Skorpion camouflage, and alongside him his platoon mates are Carpathian Devil, and the other one is Foxland, I think it's Foxland 126. Now they're in the Patriot and the T103. Now, they're not going off to the usual tank destroyer positions. which will be off to the east side of the map, looking over the enemies that are coming down through the buildings. Instead, he's actually making his way to this position here, where he'd be able to shoot at the enemy as they make their way across to that position. Okay, it's an early spot to go to. He hasn't got binos actually, which is you know, normally would increase the view range. In fact, it looks like a number of the enemy tanks, 4 of the heavy tanks, have actually made their way into the building area. So Fox Load, not Fox Land, is in there fighting against those heavies. Nobody come out yet. Very unusual. You can see that Slide's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his gun. Well, maybe I can tell you a bit more about the Skorpion G. They started development work in January of 1943, and by April of 1943 they had a design that they could actually use. It was based on the Panther originally, and it has the second best alpha in the game after the SU-130PM. Of course, that's got 510 alpha rather than 490, which is on this vehicle. Or was it 520? I can never remember that one.
Support my position.
He's asking the AMX to help him out. This is just a little too dangerous for him. If he gets hit by any vehicle, the shell will go straight through. He's only got 30mm at the best at the front. The turret is just, well, to stop small arms fire, so it's basically porous. And it looks like the enemy Skorpion's just been spotted as well. Fires around into the lever. Very easy pen, but a low roll 429. Now, it does have good accuracy with that gun, and the vehicle has a good top speed of 60 kilometers an hour once it gets moving, but it actually has fairly poor traverse, and to take a full traverse of the turret does take some time because the gun is so big and so heavy that yes, it does take some time to go round. And at the moment he's teasing that lever, and the lever's pulled back in. It was kind of tempting him to stay up and keep looking just in case he would poke out. But now that the lever's gone back in, he's waiting for him to come out. He's there. Oh, it went right over the front of his vehicle. And he pulled back immediately, he did, just to, immediately he fired. Can't get a shot on that Skorpion. Doesn't want to poke out and make himself an easy target. The lever's pulled back in now. Yes, it is quite a large tank destroyer, this one. A bit prominent. Also has a long aim time and fairly bad camo because it's so big. And that can be a bit of a problem, because if you're having to sit there stationary for a long period of time to dial in on your target, you are vulnerable. Now, I think that Skoda T50 must have seen him, even if it was just the top of the turret.
I need your help.
Yeah, he's had to pull back. He's vulnerable, but there's no Arty in the game, so he doesn't have to worry about an Arty shell coming in and upsetting his day. But he would have a bit of a problem crossing that road ahead of him, because the enemy tanks should be able to see him through the gap in the buildings. Instead, he's decided to go back to where he was. Okay, he's making a decision. He's going to fight from this area. He's got to watch out for that Skorpion, though, because if he gets too close, then the Skorpion might see him. And oh, he's found an Object 140. And he has been spotted, so they know he's here. It's going to help Fox load. Nice! Low roll, 452. But it is a hit. Don't want to pop out, not just yet. Stay where you are at the moment. Safe. Once that Object 140 gets busy, he'll turn his turret the other way. Okay, now we can get him. Yes, nice shot. Beautiful. Clean shot right into the front of the vehicle. Nothing that the Object 140 could do because his gun was looking the opposite direction. Now we've got the Skorpion, the Skoda rather. And yes, that's a nice clean kill as well. Opportunistic, but it worked. Again, the guy was looking the wrong way. So they're 4 kills up on the enemy now. They've got the advantage. They've got the momentum. It's a long way of turning around, but he has turned it around, and now he's taking it back to a sniper position. And from here, he should be able to snipe on the enemy tanks that are up on that side of the map. I think he's outside their view range as well from here. Oh, there they are, and they're retreating. Now that guy's the other side of the hill. You're not going to get a shot on him, but you can hit the list, and he does. In fact, actually he hits a charioteer he couldn't see, so there was an overlap between those two vehicles. Here's the long reload of this vehicle, 12.2 seconds. He's managed to get it down to 10.57, but that long reload really can be a pain. Now we don't know if that shell hit because it dipped down over the hill. Basically trying to keep their heads down so that they don't go after our teammates. The T-44 is coming up. If he spots something, Sly can put a round into it. And nope, they're not wanted. They don't want to come out. They know Sly's here. And so they stage inside the, or behind the wrecked building. But they're going to have to come out if they're going to deal with the other guys who are much closer. And so now Sly's got to worry about that list. Or was it list? No, there was another enemy tank near their cap area. Okay, so we're swarming over that hill now. There's still some up there. There's a strip, 103B, and a charioteer. I forgot to mention this is a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. But now he's getting close. There's no enemy to his left. They've all been killed. So it's just the guys who are actually in the trench. No, you don't have to worry about them. They've been dealt with. Oh no, he's right actually. There is a tank destroyer. The Skorpion. Or is it? No, it's the 704. He was right. The 704 couldn't be seen. He relocated over there and he hadn't been spotted. Tried for a pixel shot. Didn't work. He could go through the gap in the buildings and try and get the guy from a different direction, but he's going to try a shot at long range. No, dipped. And he's gone. Okay, so now he's free to go to the trench. Or trench, that area beneath the ridgeline. Scoot along there, taking out the enemy tanks as he goes. There's only 3 of them left now. And they're all down the other end. Okay, can we see them? There's one. There's the other. Nice shot to the side of the Centurion. That is a high roll. But he has got this long reload and the Centurion hasn't. So he's trying to get revenge. Okay, we do take 1 hit from the Centurion's gun. And he kills the Centurion in the next round. The list gets a shot as well. Sly needs to be careful he doesn't take more hits. We can just see the top of the STB, but I think he needs to worry about the list more than the STB. T110E4 is threatening both of those guys. They're trying to defend themselves. Here comes the cavalry. Now you can just shoot along here as fast as you can, get to a position. Get some last few hit points before the game's over. Now, he's going to use his 7 degrees of gun depression. Gets a kill. Takes out the list. There's just the STB left to kill. And he's gone. And that's the end of the victory. That's the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was another ace tanker game for SlyMeerkat, this time in the Rheinmetall Skorpion G. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6. He got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4, as well as a fire for effect for doing more damage to the hit points to his own vehicle. Let's have a look at team score. Well, in this game, it appears that he did get the highest damage in the game overall, because he got 3,326 hit points. The next high scorer being the T95 FV4201 with 3,289, and the third highest damage being the Object 140 on his own team with 3,181. His own platoon mates, which are actually Fox Load 126, sorry I couldn't see your proper name, he managed to get 727 hit points, and I'm afraid Carpathian Devil only got, well, nothing actually in that game before he got wiped out. So let's have a look at the number of kills. Sly got shared the top spot. He got 4 kills in that game, so did the STB1. 3 kills went to the 121B on his own team, 2 kills to the AMX 5120, and also to the Charioteer on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, he got that one all on his own, with 1,273, 863 to the Lerva, 829 to the Object 140. Sly fired 13 rounds in that game, got 8 direct hits on the enemy, 8 penetrations, damage of 3,326 hit points, of which 964 were at more than 300 meters, so most of the shots were actually fairly close. 2 hits received, 2 penetrations, yes, well, you saw them. The Centurion 7-1 didn't take too kindly to being hit, and neither did the Liss. I mean, he obviously got his shot in, but of course then Sly took him out later on. 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, and 487 hit points of damage assistance. 67,371 credits from the game after repair and ammunition resupply took away 92,592 credits. He fired standard ammo, so no big cost there. And 1,273 XP, 3,820 for personal missions payout, 191 for this being a premium vehicle, 287 for playing in a platoon, total 6,208 experience points altogether. So Sly obviously seems to like the Rheinmetall Skorpion in either version, the G or the plainclothes one, because he does have a knack for it. He stays alive long enough to actually make it count and get those shots, and that is half the battle actually in most games, is actually just staying alive long enough to make your shells count. When if you rush in and you try and get to a too advanced position to try and do damage to the enemy, sometimes you come a cropper simply because the enemy managed to get shells into you before the long end game starts. It's sometimes wiser just to hang back in a tank destroyer in a tank destroyer position and shoot from there, and just try and whittle away the enemy and let your teammates do the rest of the damage. And if you can, towards the end of the game, come after the remaining enemy and finish them off for your teammates. I hope you enjoyed those battles. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.